Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Department of Training and Internazionalization at the Ordine, Architetti, Pianificatori, Paesaggisti, Conservatori di Napoli e Provincia, Consigliere Antonio Coppola and I, Salvatore Polverino, want to express sincere consideration to the organizing committee. This paper is overall linked to the primary scope of this conference, which is aimed at a range of disciplines including archaeology, architecture, engineering, historic preservation, and urban planning. Hence, industrial archaeology occupies a systematic study of material evidence. The scientific interpretation of material evidence is entrusted by exclusive negative scans in my possess, of which I warn that they are under copyright. The first question at the starting point is, what this research aspires to? This research aims to harmonize a heterogeneous variety of sources from the last century, delivering a proper context of incomplete or non-existent information, hence impossible to be reconstructed. Regarding architecture and urbanism, I also want to mention three papers, one of Piana di Monteverde and its Benedict Castle, the emerging holiday village model, and a paper about the attitude in conservation of urban heritage. Because of the special fabrication of this industrial food, it was necessary to amplify the lecture, mentioning the technology and its impact on the Italian society. In Italy, industrial preservation has not been fully put into practice, and assembling piece to piece together the history of of, post-industrial activities in a majority of cases belong to big companies located in the north of the country, and furthermore, collective memory is poorly ensured by a weak oral remembrance, which requires a constant and deep effort of maintenance. Industrial archaeology includes both the examination of standing structures and sites that must be studied by an excavation and rarely discovering of artifacts backed up by oral interrogations with elder workers. As the written record of many industrial techniques held by the Nasti company and its advanced and independent division named MondialGelo, there are evidences which brought me to consider also secondary as business history, a parliament interrogation describing its MondialGelo framework, of fabricating emerging food products with unknown nutrition score, with its following demand, and HACCP protocols. Intrinsic values in archival material throughout an exploration of a time and space-bound phenomenon encompassing a discrete known historical artisan industrial memory was accounted. This reference paragraph depicts a structured qualitative case study methodology so that the research has been filtered through a multiple case studies. Furthermore, the depth of the photographic archives has underlined specific propositions. What have inspired the managers to choose this line of business? Which personal qualities and technical experience could have been invested into this business? Was it evident the need of this product? Did the founders manage this business in the short, medium, or long period? The background of this family from Napoli belongs to a simple but well-organized manufacturing identity, backed up from the cherry production and baskets on the hills of Marano di Napoli. During Second World War years, the family refugee aboard its Fiat Balilla nestled at the foot of the scenic beauty of the hills of Villa Santa Croce village, near Caiazzo town, Vascelli locality. The hills were undermined by the Wehrmacht defense along the Victor Line. We still remember the role of the President Eisenhower, who assisted the armistice of Caserta, signed by Axis and allies. The list of initiatives promoted by this family were in example asphalting roads, reclamation of forts, and improvement of the railway boundaries of the Alifana Road. The main factory was located in the noble avenue of Calvizzano, DNE, in combination with the MondialGelo factory, F. While increased nasty influence was rapidly felt in the development with its machineries that were of non-standard manufacture, a consequent list of the satellite companies revolving around Fratelli Nasti arose in the neighborhoods of the workshops. Commercial relations with other beverage producers were consequently extended between Rome and Venice. In the immediate aftermath of the Second World War, the United Nations Relief and Rehabilitation Administration delivered heavy supplies of skimmed milk from surplus production in Northern Europe, according to the UN Food and Agricultural Organization and the World Health Organization. So here there are the liquids and dry components of the ice cream early stage production. They were the main ingredients carried out from the trucks, chosen, weighted, and fallen inside the silos. Afterwards, the rapid agitation, they were grinded down and the amalgamation and it was pulverized all into powder. The result was chopped and fluidified with a liquid injection passing through a separate inlet that led to a first dispersion. The air was addressed to form the structure to the next stages of the ice cream. Consequently, the injection of the blended amalgamations consisted of a channeling of this matter inside the plate or double or a triple tube. Once the proteins were hydrated and the organism spoiled, they crossed large jacketed vats. Thanks to high-speed mechanisms, we can observe the final injection into the packaging that was entrusted by it was entrusted to complex coordination of tolerances, which granted a repetitive mechanical action. The springs were particularly designed to respond the recallings. These two pictures depict the molded novelties of mozzarella similarly based ice cream. The ice creams were grouped in 16 stacks of shots at once. As consequence, the hardening in which the operator had the duty to methodically transfer the arrays for the next stage of the bath of hot dark chocolate. Then the hardening of ice creams. The stacks were slowly dropped in the bath of dark chocolate, as we might notice the brown slats. The arrays were disjointed in the plastic conveyor belt once the new layer hardened and dried. And here the fabrication of extruded novelties. The North American technology behind the pulverization of milk was primarily for the new ice cream technology, whose eminent manufacturer was since the late 70s led by the Unilever Group with an efficient cold chain logistics. The two owners, Ciro Nasti and Raffaele Simioli, decided gradually to acquire small, medium enterprises in order to enrich the market attractiveness of the factory. Cultural incompatibilities and employee resistance caused many problems. This was not the case with the presence of Mr. Ciro Nasti, who allowed the introduction of pedagogical teaching in the working with administrative traineeships. MondialGelo was acquired by Tanara in 1973 under the mention of Italgel, SPA as we might notice, following the acquisition by SMA, also of Alemania. It must be contextualized that this year was destined for the liquidation despite the vast success of the industrial enterprise with a production estimated at 57 models of product. Two factors undermined this factory. One was the energy crisis, and the second, the left-wing syndicates. Subsequently, Unilever acquired the partnership Mott and Clay in the year 1977. The last traces of MondialGelo were absorbed directly from the former family owners under the expertise of other managers. The resistance of unileverization absorption was rare, so that MondialGelo ceased totally to exist in 1970. Gradually, the transformation of all Nazi initiatives also dropped the production of all drinks and relative products. Thanks for this space and attention.